Good afternoon. This is my presentation for my Prog POE final part. Okay, so this is a monthly claim system, and this allows the lecturers to submit a claim that will essentially allow them to get paid, but they need to track all of their claims, right? Like as seen over here. This is just the structure of the entire system, and basically your claims will be you'll be able to interact with your claims as the staff members, and the modules will also be able to interact with the claims, because obviously we need a list of modules that will be shown in the claims, right? So basically, the staff table incorporates the lecturer, coordinator, academic manager, and the HR, right? And they're all separated by their roles, essentially. And I also added the lecturer rate over here, which is a nullable field. In other words, it can be null and it doesn't have to have anything. So for instance, all the admins, they wouldn't need a lecturer rate, right? So yeah, so a lecturer would make a claim and choose modules, and then the HR would be able to, not the HR, the coordinator and the admin would be able to see the claims, but we'll talk about that a bit later. Okay, so on the lecturer's side, right, basically you will be able to calculate the monthly salary of the lecturer as they're submitting their claim, because the HR will be able to enter in the lecturer's rate, right? Because we wouldn't want the lecturer to be able to do that themselves, because we don't need to add extra steps for ourselves, right? Where we would have to verify even the lecturer rate now. So it would be easier if it's just the HR doing that. So basically, in the lecturer's claim, they're able to add in supporting documents to support their claim, and they can also add like additional notes and stuff like that. So this the method that I have chosen to do it within helps with the ease of use for the website, making it like a lot simpler, because you don't want too many steps once again for the lecturer. Rather keep things as simple as possible and keep it to the necessary information that they need to put in, which is why I make the lecturer not enter in their own rate. So this would be my monthly claim form, right, where they can enter the date, module code, number of hours, and any additional notes about that lesson, right? And they would also add supporting documents for the claim as a whole, right? And this supporting document is going to it needs to incorporate all of the lessons that have been done for that month, right? So now, after filling in the form, you press add lesson, and then your claim summary will be displayed over here. So as you add lessons, you'll be able to see all of your claims that you have made, right? And that is seen over here. And yeah, you add your lesson and it's over there, your supporting documents. Now, another key thing about the supporting documents is that I have limited the user to only submit certain documents, so PDFs and Word documents. I also added Excel documents, although you can't see it here. I added Excel documents because some people track their things on spreadsheets, which is a lot simpler for some people, but it's also included over here. But yeah, here's a little sample of the app running, and yeah, um, you see adding the number of hours, adding the additional notes, and then adding the supporting documents, and then you'll see it will be everything will be displayed here on the side. Um, yeah, I just was pointing out there that it's limited to certain file types. Okay, so as we move on, now we're moving on to the program coordinator and the academic manager side. The program coordinator is the one that's going to receive all the claims, right? So every single claim that's made by every lecturer is going to be directed to the program coordinator or coordinators, depending on the team size. Um, this will so it will display a list of all the claims, right, that have been done, and they will be able to verify or reject claims. The reason why I have kind of changed the wording a little bit, compared to the academic manager, the coordinator only verifies them so that they can go to the academic manager side. And I will explain a little bit more what the academic manager does. So basically, what the coordinator does is they shortlist all the claims so that the academic manager gets a limited list, like a list that's closer to being final, and then they can finalize everything. Then they can also download the supporting documents. Obviously, now you can't download the supporting documents like in other weird, sketchy ways. You have to be like the coordinator and use the actual download button. It's encrypted as well, because you don't want any random person being able to access supporting like your documents. So only they will be able to access those documents. Now, to the academic manager side, I've already pretty much touched on everything. They receive the claims, the shortlisted claims, after the coordinator. And these claims are essentially, they have been verified. So a lot of the bigger task is already like taken off of them, essentially. And now the coordinator just has to like finalize, ensure that everything is correct just one last time, and then they can approve or reject the claims once again. So once the coordinator verifies the claim, it goes to the academic manager, and then once the academic manager um, approves of it, then the claim itself will essentially go back to the lecturer, and it will change the status as approved, right? And at any point when it's rejected, it will also reflect that on the lecturer side, and it will just like it will prompt them to essentially like put in another claim or like make changes or something like that, right? So the benefits, once again, to ensure that the lecturer's claims are valid, right? Okay. Now, this is the page where you verify your claims. So there's the approve button and the reject button. And once you click approve, the status will change and will reflect the same on the lecturer side, right? And that's when the status has changed. Now, on the HR side is essentially just like the overarching thing, the overarching side of everything, where they don't necessarily interact too much with the claims and all that, right? But it's more of they create stuff and delete stuff, they set lecturers' rates, and they also create invoices and reports, right, on everything that has to do with like things that have been done on the website. Like all claims that have been approved, they will be listed, and all the ones that have been rejected will also be listed. But basically, this this side is just like a very higher admin type of thing that just makes things a lot easier for the users using the system, right? But yeah. So the reasons for automating everything, right? Because now we automated everything by using APIs and making calculations that are done on the website, um, and all that. So just real quick, the on the lecturer side, right? Um, Everything is done within the API. So all calculations, all retrieval of data. So retrieving the lecturer's information, like their ID, so that you can get their names and everything displayed on the claim itself. All of that is dealt with on the API, and now all of this just helps the process just go a whole lot easier, so that we don't have to do too much like hardcore work, and it's just doing the very core details of everything. Like I mentioned before, it's just going to make things a lot easier and faster for all the users. Now, another reason for automating it is that the automatic calculations will like reduce how many errors there are, right? Because counting on the lecturer to make all the calculations, it can come with a whole lot of problems. Now we have to add in a bunch of checks and verification things. This just makes it a whole lot easier when we calculate things like on the back end. It's quite cost effective because there isn't any need for anyone to like manually do anything, right? And it's also quite scalable because you can do many more tasks, many more claims in a day, or in like a certain amount of time, compared to how you would have had if you were doing everything manually. And yeah. And lastly, the authentication. Basically, when you log in, right, you need to verify all of your details. You need to enter your emails, and your passwords need to be like obviously correct. And all of this data is all kept secure, and it's encrypted. And if you want to if you want to get access to the website, right, you would log in, and then you would have to get a token that will essentially prove that you actually are the user that you claim you are, and someone doesn't just hijack your connection. you know that basically just limits how many exterior people would be able to gain access to our website, like for people that shouldn't be on the website. But yeah, that's essentially the authentication, and it's just a way to authorize users essentially. And I would like to thank you, and these are all my references. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.